I didn't think I was the kind of person who could get lucky anymore. That's dramatic, I know. But last year, everything that could wobble did my jaw. Cut my hours. My girlfriend cheated and left. I burned through what little savings I had, pretending things were temporary. They weren't. By the time I started looking for a new place, I was down to a duffel bag, a mattress topper, and a laptop with a cracked hinge. That's when I found the listing. It was in a small housing group for our town. One of those upscale rural places that pretends it isn't rural. Boutique coffee shops next to feed stores. Expensive apartments surrounded by empty fields. People with money who don't want noise. The ad was simple. Room for rent. Clean. Quiet. No drama. $300 flat. Utilities included. $300 for a one-bedroom share was insane. Studios went for triple that. I assumed it was fake, but I messaged anyway. He replied within 10 minutes. His name was Daniel. He said he owned the apartment but traveled for work and preferred having someone around so the place didn't sit empty. He liked structure. He'd had bad roommate experiences before, but was willing to try again. We met that same night at a brewery downtown. He didn't look like a scammer. Mid-30s, clean-cut, soft-spoken. The kind of guy who folds his napkin instead of crumpling it. He asked normal questions. Work, hobbies, how long I planned to stay. When I asked why rent was so cheap, he shrugged. Peace of mind, he said. Money isn't the issue. Stability is... I should have thought that was strange. I didn't. The apartment was nicer than anywhere I'd lived before. Top floor, vaulted ceilings, quiet hallway, neutral colors, everything staged like a model unit. The first thing I noticed were the walls. Several sections in the hallway had slightly different paint texture. You wouldn't see it unless you were looking. The patches were neat, professional, but they were there. Pipe burst last year, Daniel said casually when he noticed me staring. Insurance nightmare. Had to redo some drywall. Then he went over the rules. Ekayed, Tem house boundaries. No guess. Ever. Don't tamper with the walls or utility closet. Dex, if staying out past midnight, keep the place clean. Spotless. No pets. If you smelled anything strange, it was probably the plumbing done. Try to fix it yourself. They weren't insane. Just strict. I needed cheap rent, more than I needed freedom, so I agreed. Living with Daniel was to say the least. He was tidy, predictable, almost invisible. Some days, I barely heard him. He worked from home consulting, whatever that meant. His office door stayed closed most of the time. He never had visitors, never got personal mail beyond generic envelopes. No old photos anywhere, just abstract art prints. The fridge was organized like a diagram. Labels forward, expiration dates visible. If something ran low, it was replaced immediately. Sometimes I noticed brands change, like the milk would be a different company than the week before. I assumed he shopped sales. He vacuumed twice a week. He wiped the baseboards. He cleaned the walls. Actually, that's not true. He wiped the walls, specifically the patched sections. That part stuck with me later. At the time, I thought he was just obsessively neat. I didn't break the guest rule for almost a month. Not because I respected it, because I didn't want to risk losing the place. Then, one night, I met a girl at a bar downtown. Her name was Mara. She had a silver ring on her right hand, turquoise stone, slightly chipped. I remember because she kept twisting it when she talked. She wasn't from town, just passing through for a few weeks. We hit it off. We went back to my place. I told her I had roommates, but they were chill. That was the first lie. I justified it because Daniel was supposedly out late. When she looked around, she said, "This place is nice. Doesn't look like two guys live here." I laughed. "He's particular," I said. We ordered food and watched a documentary on Netflix. It was about a serial offender called the Vacancy Squatter, who broke into empty homes, lived there for weeks, sometimes months. Everything would look untouched, except for subtle changes. Groceries replaced, furniture shifted, new drywall patches discovered months later. He targeted sex workers, and several women went missing. Mara nudged me. Imagine watching this in a stranger's apartment. I told her she was paranoid. She went to the bathroom, and that's when I heard it. Tapping from the hallway. She was just playfully knocking on the wall. "Why does that sound hollow?" she asked. I froze, remembered Daniel's rules, and yet it did sound hollow. Not like insulation, like empty space. Daniel's bedroom door opened. I'd never seen him move that fast. Face blank. Not angry, not confused. Just blank. "Who is this?" he asked calmly. I apologized. Mara smiled awkwardly and left. Daniel didn't take his eyes off me. "I don't like unpredictability. It disrupts structure," aside softly. A week later, a faint, sweet metallic smell appeared in the apartment. Daniel seemed happier, oddly cheerful. He started burning candles, cleaning obsessively. Then a woman approached me outside work. Mid-30s, tired eyes. She showed me a photo. "Do you live at the Riverstone building? My brother hasn't answered his phone in 2 months. It was Daniel, or at least the man I thought was Daniel." I questioned him. He brushed it off as family drama. The smell worsened. Daniel left abruptly for a family visit and never returned. Alone, I noticed loose floorboards, odd tools in the utility closet. Hacksaw, sledge, shears, all clean, all ready. While moving my bed, I found plastic-wrapped objects under the floorboard. Mara's ring. My hands went cold. My ears rang. The hollow wall behind my head. I pressed it. The smell hit instantly. Thick, metallic, sweet. I broke through the drywall. Behind it, plastic, and I rolled toward my flashlight. The police arrived. They cut open several patched walls. They found Mara, folded and wrapped, tucked like insulation. The real Daniel. Same story. Other sections had plastic prepped and a single word written in pencil. Soon. The detectives concluded Daniel killed the real owner, assumed his identity, and rented the spare room as an alibi. He left before finishing. Mara and I unknowingly disrupted his routine. I moved out immediately. I don't stay long in one place now. I knock on walls in hotels, listening for hollowness. Articles about missing women still appear. No arrest has been made. He's still out there, and I was his roommate.